Yo, what's happening, everyone? I'm back again, and this video is a little bit off the cuff, but like, I don't know, like the other ones I've sort of thought about making, but this one, it's not necessarily that I haven't thought about it. It's just like, it's just something that sort of occurred to me today, you know. So this was going to be the Kanye video, but I'm going to save that for another day simply because, I was talking to a really, really good friend of mine, and I was like, I don't know, I'm probably going to do a Kanye or this video, and she was like, "Oh, you should do this video." Oh, whatever. Shout out Nicole. Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favourite artists and one of the most important artists in my life. We're going to be talking about Frank Ocean. So I fucking love Frank Ocean. Like, I can't express. Like, he's just so good. Like, if you haven't listened to Frank Ocean's music, I'd recommend pausing this video, stop whatever you're doing, and go and listen to Blonde, because I'm going to talk quite a lot about Blonde today. Blonde is one of my favourite albums of all time. I've got a poster of it there. You can't see it because I'm recording these off my iPhone and I just can't be arsed moving, so, unlucky. But I've got a poster of Blonde there, and I'm a massive Frank Ocean fan. He's an artist that I don't know, a lot of people like him, but I feel like not a lot of people fully understand Frank Ocean, like, as a person. Not even as a person, I say that like I know him personally, I don't. But his music's so impactful and full of importance, because I think Blonde is the best breakup album ever made. I think second is Ego by Tyler, the Creator, but first is Blonde, simply because it's just got this magic about it. Like, this video was partially inspired by a post I seen last night, and it was about Blonde, and it was in the comments on like on YouTube of Nike's. I don't know why I said Nike's. And it's about this woman who said, like, me and my partner did mushrooms and then listened to this song. And we just sort of like looked at each other, and while our pupils were dilating back and forth, we were communicating without words. And we both knew that this wouldn't last, and they're not together anymore. Like, normal people don't make music like that. So the fantastic thing about Nights is it's a song that comes on, and it only comes on at very specific points in your life. It's like a weird spiritual message, a sign from the universe. It makes you feel like everything's going to be okay for a little bit. It's the middle song on the album, and it starts off quite like happy and like whatever, like the rest of the songs, but at the exact midpoint of the album, the beat switches to like a slower paced, more melancholic type of beat, and he starts talking a bit slower and a bit more about like his thoughts and feelings and what this part of his life was like for him, because he says, like, staying with you when I didn't even have a mattress. So like that's when he was homeless because of the floods in I want to say it was, what was it called, man? I don't know, I can't remember. Big flood in America. And he had to go and stay somewhere else in like a completely different state, and that was with his partner. So the interesting thing about Frank Ocean is, I say partner because he likes men. You know what I mean? Like, he's fruity. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. You live your own life and do whatever you want to do. Doesn't bother me. Just don't try and bum me, I guess. And so that actually signifies, back to Night's beat switch, because I ramble. Back to the Night's beat switch, that actually signifies the exact midpoint of the album and reflects a tonal shift from like a nostalgic view of this past relationship versus the reality of dealing with those emotions and moving on. Now, listen, one of my favourite songs, if not my favourite song ever, is White Ferrari by Frank Ocean. That shit makes me cry, bro, like tears. You know what I mean? I think that's the greatest love story ever told in the form of a song. White Ferrari, if you haven't listened to it, is about his first love when he was like 16. And reflects his thoughts and feelings on that time in his life. And maybe to an extent how he wishes things could have worked out differently, because right at the end he talks about maybe we're taller in another dimension. So basically saying like maybe in another life we worked it out and we were still together. You know what I mean? Um, it's powerful. It is. It's something I think that a lot of people can relate to and reflect upon, because we've all had those relationships in our lives where the people are good. It's not the people that's the problem. It's just maybe not the right time, maybe not the right circumstance, maybe not the right point in your life. I guess you just got to learn from everything. I guess that's part of all of it. And I think Blonde reflects that perfectly, because you see the change and the maturity in Frank Ocean as the album goes on, when he reflects upon certain topics and whatever. So I like Close to You, which is the song before White Ferrari. Okay, rant, tangent incoming. Close to You, White Ferrari, Siegfried, and Godspeed is one of the best 4-song runs ever. I don't care what you have to say about anything. Close to You is it's a sample of one of my favorite songs by the Carpenters. You know the song. It was in the end of the Simpsons movie. I might sing it. Why do birds suddenly appear? You know that song. It's sampled off that, and then that leads directly into White Ferrari, which leads into Siegfried, which is talking about maybe he's a fool to settle for a place with a nice view. And when you first hear that, you're like, that doesn't make sense though, because wouldn't you want a place with a nice view? Wouldn't you want that? Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't you want a nice house with a swimming pool and a few kids and whatever? But that actually isn't what he's talking about. It's more talking about maybe I should have settled somewhere where I wasn't happy. Like, am I a fool for settling somewhere I wasn't happy just because it looked good and it looked right in everyone else's eyes? Because that's what everyone wants. Everyone supposedly wants a nice house with a nice view and a swimming pool and a few kids. But not everyone wants that. Not everyone wants that. Other people, like, people want different things from their life, and it's about finding out what you want. And I think that's what he's trying to express in Siegfried. And he says, like, this is not my life, it's just a fond farewell to a friend. I've listened to these songs a lot, bro, you can tell. It's just a fond farewell to a friend. And I think that ties the album all together, because a lot of people, like I said in the beginning of this video, Blonde is a breakup album. It is, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. It's more impactful. It's deeper than that. It's not about. It is about love. It's a breakup album, but it's just so complex, because it's not necessarily like a breakup album. Like, oh, I feel shit because I've swerved my bed. It's more about like how I feel. It's about you. You know what I mean? I think that's the best part about the album, because every single song you can relate to an experience you've had in your life. And I've got a theory that the entirety of Blonde's actually just about one person. It's presented as multiple relationships, but I think it's just one person. And I think it reflects across as like multiple people, because it's just different stages of the same relationship. And they're both growing up and changing as people. So I guess it is different relationships with different people, but it's the same person, really. And that's what it's about. It's about growing together. And I just think that's what everything's about. I just think it's about, like, you find someone you like and you stick with them, and it doesn't matter what anyone else tells you. You just stick with them and you work and you change and you grow. And if you grow into different people, and maybe you don't really see eye to eye no more, and things aren't going the way they used to and whatever, then maybe it's not the right thing. But sometimes that's okay. Well, that is okay. I don't know why I said sometimes. It's okay. That's what life's about, growing and finding out what you do like and what you don't like. And it doesn't always work out the way you think it's going to. That's why I never make plans. I never like have a plan for my life, because I feel like if you make a plan, things just don't go that way and you end up disappointed. Whereas if you just do something because you think it feels right, then you're never really at a loss, because you've always tried. You know what I mean? You've always tried. I just love Blonde. I just think it's a fantastic album, and I think there's so many, like Kanye is credited as a writer, and so is Kendrick Lamar. I just think Frank Ocean is such an impactful artist, because I even look at like Dear April. Dear April is a fantastic song if you haven't heard Dear April, the acoustic version. Really good song, really good song. Like Chanel is about being bisexual, And there's just so many good songs. I mean, who hasn't heard Novocaine? Novocaine's a fucking classic. Novocaine's unbelievable. What a tune, man. What a great song that is. I think that's the best part about Frank Ocean. You can just relate to him. He's just like one of us, really, you know. And a lot of people rag on him because it's like, well, he hasn't made an album since 2016. It's like, yeah, I understand that, but why should he? Realistically, why should he? If he feels like he hasn't got nothing to express or nothing to say, then why would he make music just for the sake of it? You don't create art because people want you to, and you create it because you want to do it yourself. I think that's the whole idea behind this YouTube channel, to be honest with you. I think I just, whenever I feel like doing something, I do this. You know what I mean? Like, I just think if you want to do something, you should just do it. It doesn't matter necessarily if it works out or not, because you've always tried. I never want to live a life full of regret. That ties into Blonde, I guess, because it's some songs he's regretful, like, of the relationship not working out. But ultimately, you just go on with your life, don't you? Things don't work out, and that's okay. Never feel like this is my big break. This has got to be it. Because if you treat things like that, then a lot of the time you try too hard, and trying too hard is not a good thing. People always say you can never try too hard, but you can. You can try too hard, and I've tried too hard in so many aspects of my life, and it's never worked out for me. So I've sort of realised that there's a fine line between trying hard and trying too hard. I don't try hard, because why would you try hard? If you're trying at something, it means you're not good at it. You know what I mean? You're trying to learn. I'm not claiming that I'm good at everything, because I'm not. No one's good at everything. I'm not even fucking good at these videos. I've got like 11 subs. You know what I mean? I was celebrating. I was fucking doing these slides around my room, and I had 50 views on my first video. But, like, I just think ultimately you need to just don't try too hard. Just be yourself. Trying too hard is when you sort of lose touch with who you are. And that's what Blonde's about. He's trying so hard to make this relationship work that he loses touch with who he really is, until he can learn to let go. Because the whole album's about someone else, and it reflects a feeling of living, just not living, but like just living for someone else, like devoting your entire time and dedication to someone else, which is, it's a nice thing in reality, but that's just not the way the world works. You can't devote yourself to something else. You've got to devote yourself to yourself, you know, because that's when things start to fall into place. When you start making moves for you, and when you start doing things you want to do, that's when everything else falls into place. Because if you're not... We're on the topic of love, so I want to talk about self-love. People have always said to me, no one will ever love you until you love yourself. And that's wrong. That's bullshit, because there are people who love you. Even if you don't love yourself, there's always going to be people around you who will love you. Never forget that. Always, 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 there's people who love you for you. Because you're you, and you're fantastic, and you're amazing, and you are whatever you are, and I love that about you. It doesn't matter, unless you're like a serial rapist, or like a paedophile or something, and I don't. Maybe less than that, mate. Maybe stop doing that. That's just my PSA, my public warning. Don't kill people and don't touch kids. If someone says no, that means no. I'm an ally. I got told the other day that I was just a lesbian with a penis by a lesbian. So that sort of put a lot of things into perspective for me, I guess. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It doesn't matter. Frank Ocean still got me. I want to talk about Channel Orange as well, because that's a fantastic album. It's really underrated because of how good Blonde is. But like, there's so many important like songs on that album. Like Pilot Jones. If you haven't heard Pilot Jones, it's a really good song, and it's about being in love with a drug addict, really. It's a really good song, and it's quite melancholy in itself, because Frank Ocean is reflecting and saying he knows that he's above this, but he's always got that little special place for them in the heart. Like, why is he trying to keep a grown woman sober, is what he says. And why is he trying to keep a grown woman sober? we don't know, but we've all done similar shit. You know what I mean? We've all tried to help people who just necessarily didn't want the help or didn't need the help. And I think that's him reflecting upon that experience and saying, like, you know, well, it is what it is. The next song, Crack Rock, is about drug addiction. It's a song that I can relate to quite a lot. Not because I do crack. I don't do crack. I have Red Bull. Basically the same thing. It's not. I'm sorry. That was an awful joke. But Crack Rock is about the effects of drug use and how addiction can lead you to certain places in your life that you never thought you would be. Like, you know, you can't even touch your family's. Hold up. Hold up. So like you can't even like hold your family's children or nothing. Like, you know, no one wants to sleep with a crackhead, as he says, basically. Which I guess is true, but then there's someone for everyone. You just gotta get clean. If you're struggling with an addiction or something, I'd suggest just getting clean, bro. I know it sounds like just get clean, mate. It's not that hard, but like I know it's hard. I've been there. You can do it. I know it seems like you can't, but you can. You can do it. I believe in you. If no one else believes in you, I believe in you. I'll always believe in you because I know there's good in everyone out there. Not everyone's a good or a bad person. I think most people are in between. I've done shit things to good people, and I've done good things for bad people, and I've done good things for good people and bad things for bad people, and that's just the way it is. I don't try and portray myself as some sort of savior or savant because, like, I'm not. I'm just kid. I'm just doing my own thing, living life. But I'm trying to share my experiences with yous to maybe try and help yous grow. Maybe that's my payback into the world, karmic debt, maybe. I don't know. But back to Frank Ocean. He's a fantastic artist, and I understand that he hasn't brought any music out in a long time, but I don't think that matters because I could listen to every single like song on Blonde for the rest of my life probably. I probably will because it's perfect. It's a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10. And every song I can relate to a different portion of my life to an extent. I think that's why I like it so much. Not because I am Frank Ocean. I'm not bisexual. I'm not. I got a few friends. Why though? No, and I just think it's something so pure and so innocent about the whole thing because it's just one man sharing his experiences, his vulnerabilities. A lot of my biggest, so like, I'll be honest, I didn't have a lot of role models really growing up. I've got my granddad and I love my granddad, and you know, I've got my uncle, but I didn't really have a lot of positive male role models growing up. So like my role models were like Spider-Man, Eminem, Kanye, Kendrick, people like that, you know. And I've seen these people be so extremely vulnerable. Like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers changed my life forever. Absolutely changed my life forever. I was never the same person after listening to that album. I've never seen someone be so vulnerable in front of the world before. And it just inspired me to be more vulnerable and be more open and accept the things I like and the things I love and embrace change and embrace getting better and growing up and becoming a man, really, I guess. And that's why I'm making this video about Blonde now, because I can be vulnerable about these experiences and talk about me interests and me things that I like without feeling judged or I don't know, whatever the feeling is. I just really fuck with Frank Ocean, to be honest with you. I know I've been rambling quite a lot this video, but that's just what I do. I love Frank Ocean. I love Tyler the Creator, but Frank Ocean's a special place in my heart. Blonde, fantastic album. You need to go and listen to it. It's absolutely outstanding. I recommend Channel Orange as well. Biking's a really good song. If you're getting into Frank Ocean, Biking, brilliant tune. In My Room, fantastic. Novocaine. I like Pink and White, Ivy. There's just before you get too deep into it, really, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I keep covering me face, and I don't mean to do it, but it's just, I don't know. It is what it is. Sue me. I asked, no. But yeah, Frank Ocean, really important part of my life. Really big part of my life. And it's a part of my life that I like to share with other people. I like to share things about myself with other people because I think it makes them grow. I think all that we really are is like a museum to like all the people that have ever loved us, you know? So I like to take that idea and like project it out into the world, because you can provide new outlets for people you care about who maybe just don't know how to express their emotions. If you're watching this and you're thinking maybe you're struggling to move on from a shitty past, because I know I was for a very long time, then I'd recommend listening to Blonde, and I'd recommend listening to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, because I think they're two very important coming of age albums. I really do. I think everyone should experience them once in their life because they both reflect the same side, the different sides of the same coin. In Blonde, it's more about emotional vulnerability to an extent, where like, yeah, it's more about emotional vulnerability, like in terms of relationships and like, sharing your experiences and how they've changed you into the person you are now and how you think the world around you functions when you're in that relationship and whatever, and how different things can be. The last song is called Future Free, which is just, it explains itself really, doesn't it? The future is free. Do whatever you want, in this situation no more. And you probably won't be ever again. So you just got to find out what's next. And I think that's my favourite part of the album because we're finding out what's next. We've finished the album. We've been through it. The future is free. Go and find it, basically. That's all I wanted to say. Frank Ocean, fantastic. Blonde, 10 out of 10 album. And yeah, I'll be back. Kanye video's coming next. And then I think I'm probably going to do I want to do a Spider-Man video. I want to do a dinosaur video. And I want to do some more music videos. But I want to do some fashion stuff as well. But I don't know how far along the line that's going to be. And yeah, no. Frank Ocean, go and listen to him, bro. I can't express that enough. I'll see you later anyway. Bye.